Hello, friends. Today on At Home with Hogatha, I have a big surprise for you. Today we are going international. Yes. What do you think of when I say love, romance? That's right. We are going to the city of love. Or is it the city of lights? Whatever. It's all romance. Paris. We are going to Paris, France. Yes, we are. We are going international. Because today I'm going to show you how to make French toast. Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. Yes, today we're making French toast. I was thinking, Hogatha, what can you make? Something like fancy and elegant and international. And I thought French toast. Everybody loves French toast. I think that has got to be one of my favorite French foods out there. French toast. And I actually make it with real French bread. Most Americans don't. They'll use what they call Texas toast, or a lot of times they'll use whatever kind of bread that they have. I've personally used croissants, and they make the most delectable French toast ever. But today, we're going to use authentic French bread. For today's ingredients, we will be having a loaf of French bread, a knife to cut slices with, a fork and a bowl that's large enough to dip bread in, a spatula and a frying pan, butter, milk, vanilla, cinnamon, and eggs. Hi everybody, so here we are. Whew, I'm out of breath. I decided to sit down. Sometimes it gets very difficult for me to really hold up my own body weight. It's difficult for us big girls. Well, anyway, so, I figured, why not make some French toast today? It's a lovely meal and people really like it. So what I do first is I first start off with my eggs, okay? So I take 2 eggs and I just put them right here in this dish. Okay, let's move that out of the way. There we go. Gotta make some room. Okay, there we go. 1, and there's 2. I woke up in this morning and I just felt like, Hogatha, you're in a romantic mood today, aren't you? So I put on my nightie with all my little hearts on it, put on my nice little headband with my crown and all my jewels, and I just feel so beautiful this morning. And I'm like, I'm gonna make a nice romantic French breakfast. I was gonna say French dessert. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna just kind of, I don't want to say scramble because scramble is a cooking method for eggs. I want to mix them. That's what I want to do. I want to mix them. And if you have a whisk, you could use a whisk or you could just use a fork, You don't got to be all fancy. And, you just use what you have. If you don't have a whisk, you could use a fork. And it works just as good. I guarantee you the fork was invented before the whisk, okay? So we got along just fine with just a fork. Okay, for making French toast anyway. Okay, so there we do. We did that. Now I'm going to take a little bit of milk. And, I'll say that was a tablespoon, a tablespoon and 2 eggs, okay? But the idea is you want this mixture to be eggy, more eggy than anything, okay? And now it comes time for like the flavorings. I personally like cinnamon and I like vanilla. So to my own taste, here's a tip for you guys. When it comes to vanilla, you should shake up the bottle first, because especially on real vanilla, it'll start settling. There's solids in here, okay? And I think maybe the richness and all the real good vanilla is at the bottom. So you turn it upside down and you shake it, okay? And I'm going to open it, and I'm just, again, I'm just going to kind of put what I think tastes good. Because honestly, there's really no right and wrong way of doing this. You kind of just add what tastes good to you. So I'm going to say that was maybe a teaspoon of vanilla, and then cinnamon. Now this is like to taste, so I'm going to just whatever I think looks good, because I know my level of what I enjoy. So here you go. So you'll see the cinnamon and the vanilla in there, and you mix it up. And you want to know something else I like to put in here is sugar, but I didn't get those ingredients ready. You don't have to put sugar in it. It just makes it a little extra sweet. And also what the sugar does is it helps what they call caramelize. When sugar gets on the outside of something and you cook it, it'll get brown and like a caramelly color. That's caramelization. And it just adds another layer of flavor, okay? So I'm going to keep mixing this up, and you'll see the cinnamon's kind of clumping up a little bit. And that's fine. I mean, you know, if you really like cinnamon, you're going to have like nice little speckled French toast, right? Okay. So there we go. I'm going to put that aside. Now, I like to use French bread for French toast. You can make it as thick as you want or as thin as you want, but what I like to do is I like to cut it right in the middle at first because I want the biggest pieces because I'm a big girl. So, and be very careful with knives, people. You know, this is a sharp edge and you can cut yourself with it. And there have been many accidents in kitchens all over the world with knives. So you want to be very careful. Now, I like to make my toast, I would say about an inch thick. That's about an inch right there. Maybe a little more. You know, I'll tell you something. When it comes to cooking, a lot of people, they really want the exact ingredients and they want to know the exact measurements. But there are some things that you cook that are very, I want to say, forgiving. Maybe you don't have enough milk in it, but you know, you had enough butter and eggs. So maybe it's not as moist as it could have been, but these are things that you learn. But I'll tell you, when it comes to just cooking like this, like putting together French toast, really the biggest ingredients that you must have are eggs and bread. You know, you can play with the other ones. For instance, I might have added nutmeg instead of cinnamon. Oh, my throat. I'm sorry, you guys. I have to cough. You notice I didn't cough into my hands. You don't want to do that because then you touch your eyes. And then you could also spread it with your fingers. I went like this. See? Okay. But like when it comes to French toast, you can play with the recipe a little bit. But you always want eggs and bread. Now what I'm going to do is, to this egg mixture, I am going to put my bread in it. See that? I'm going to push it down lightly. I don't want to smash it. Just want to make sure it gets wet. And then I'm going to flip it over. What's going to happen is that egg mixture will soak into the bread, and as it's sitting in another egg mixture, it'll soak that up too. You basically want the bread to be like a sponge, and you want it to suck up all that liquid. Now, it won't suck up all this liquid, okay? Actually, this one might. The thicker the bread, the more it will soak up. Now it's going to get into that bread. And now we're going to go to the stove. Okay, now what I've done is I've turned this pan onto a medium, see that? A medium flame. It's about a number 5 on my stove. Now I'm going to add some butter. And then, while we're waiting for that to melt, I'm going to show you the bread. Now look, it really did almost soak up all of that egg. I'm surprised. Okay, I'm going to turn this up a little higher to get that hot. I coughed into my elbow again. Okay, there we go. You kind of want to get the pan hot, but you don't want it too hot because you don't want it to burn. The idea is, because this is a thick piece of bread, you kind of want to cook it longer but lower because you want it to cook all of the egg inside of the bread. Okay? what will happen is it will get kind of custardy on the inside and then like crispy on the outside. That's the goal anyway. Okay, I better turn this down. I don't want that butter to burn. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'll take out the French bread and I'm going to pop it in there. Okay. Oh, I can hear it cooking already. There we go. It's going. Okay. Okay, so I think it's time to check it and to turn it over. So, my spatula went under it very easily because I put butter on it and it's a non-stick pan. Now, I like to kind of do this to redistribute the butter around, you know, just so it gets on the other side of the French toast. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful piece of French toast. And now we want to cook it on the other side to about the same doneness. I would say it's about 3 or 4 minutes. I could be wrong, but that could also depend upon, you know, your flame, the type of pan you have, everything. Everything matters. Okay, so we're going to let that cook a little bit longer. I can't wait to try this. I know it's going to be good. I don't know about you, but French toast is my favorite compared to pancakes and waffles. I think after French toast, I would take waffles. I'm not really one to be a big pancake fan. I find them to be very filling, and I get full too easily. But I could eat French toast all day long. I love French toast. And you know what? If you do too, I think you'll love this recipe. It's absolutely delicious. And I love the idea of using French bread for French toast. Oh, look at that. Nice color. Okay. I'm gonna just put it on low because I want to make sure the inside gets cooked. Okay. And when we come back, you will see the final results on the plate. Well, here we are with our completed French toast. Look at it, isn't it gorgeous? Can you hear that? I like it when it gets a little crispy. Now to that, I'm going to add a little bit of butter. Well, really, a lot of butter. I like a lot of butter. And look at that. It's just beautiful the way it's melting. And then I put some syrup on it. Look at that. Oh, yes. You know, a lot of people drown theirs with syrup. I'm not like that. I'm not one to like a whole lot of syrup, but I do like a lot of milk, I'll tell you that. I love milk with breakfast, especially with French toast. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Mmm. Mmm. Oh boy, you know, the bread is really soft on the inside. Oh, it's just so good. Mmm. Mmm. This is delicious. I had a lot of fun today, you guys, making French toast with you, and I hope you learned a little something, okay? So just take these new skills that you're learning and you can apply them to other things that you want to cook. Just get out there and try to cook. It's a lot of fun. And you know what? You can do it. And this is just one step closer to independence. Learning how to feed yourself. Take care of yourself. You got to do these basics, sweetheart. You got to learn how to cook, okay? And French toast is a great, great, simple thing that you could make and perfect on your own, and you can make it exactly the way you want it. And I encourage you all just to get out there and cook something today. Be well.